Hi parents, it's Kristen Lascola with the update on what your students are learning in junior high ministry on Sunday mornings. So in honor of Valentine's Day, we talked about love and the true meaning of love. And so I had the students give me some of their definitions of what do you think love is? And they had some really good answers. And then I said, okay, well, what if I was coming from another planet and I had no idea what love was, and someone told me, watch TV and watch movies for a week and come back and tell me what the definition of love is. And we kind of all came up with the same answer that, well, they said, it would probably be like kissing and, holding hands and that kind of stuff that we would see in movies. But we also came up with the answer that behind the scenes, it would be a very selfish kind of love that I love you when it's convenient until maybe someone else comes along and, oh, I'm in love with them now, and my love is now changed. And so we looked at the story of Ruth and Boaz found in the book of Ruth, obviously, and it was, we looked at a few different elements of it. Number one, the sacrifice, that true love is sacrifice, and Ruth shows that in continuing to Bethlehem with Naomi after all the men in the family had died. And the significance of that is that Ruth gave up her future of potentially finding another husband and making a future for herself. Being a widow was a really bad place to be in that society, but she stuck with Naomi and wasn't willing to let her just kind of fend for herself and live off of people's charity, but that she was committed to be a team with her. And then Boaz hears this and takes notice of Ruth not because of the way she looked or dressed or acted, but because of the love that she had shown her mother-in-law. And so I kind of just told the girls, never underestimate the attractiveness of a godly character when trying to attract a man like Boaz. That's the kind of guy that we want. And I told the boys, never underestimate the power of godly character in a woman that you're, looking to date or marry or something in the future, obviously. And, just that sacrificial love. And then we looked at the redeeming love of Boaz for not only Ruth, but taking on Naomi as well, because they were kind of this package deal, and he was their kinsman redeemer. We kind of talked about what that meant. He inherited Ruth's land, but he also took her in as a wife and protected her and provided for her. And the story is so beautiful because it really doesn't end there, because Boaz and Ruth end up having a child named Obed. That is the father of Jesse, who is the father of King David, and that is the messianic line, and that's where Jesus came from. So we just kind of saw wow, this story of sacrifice and redemption starting way back here with Ruth and Boaz in the Old Testament, and we see that go all the way to the line of Jesus in the New Testament, where he completely fulfilled the ultimate sacrifice and the ultimate redemption. And so just kind of tied that all into, that's what real love is. It's willing to love someone else when they don't have anything to offer you, the way that Ruth showed that to Naomi. And Ruth was not partial. Her love wasn't just for Boaz because he had something to offer her, but for Naomi, who had absolutely nothing to offer her. And so I just challenge the students of, do you love when it's convenient for you, or when you have something to gain from that relationship? Is it a selfish motivation? Because the true love we see in the Bible has nothing to do about the merit of the one being loved. It has nothing to do with how much they deserve it, but only love's nature is just to love despite who you are, and that's the kind of love that God shows us. So if you want to continue this conversation with your student, it'd be great to ask them, who in your life shows you love like that? And some of the students said you guys do, that their parents definitely show them that kind of love. And on the flip side, who can we show that kind of love to? Is there someone in our life that needs some of that unconditional sacrificial love? So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.